today. Do you know, because of YouTube, I have managed to get 38 different countries in the last week on my website? Like, holy heavens. I am an artist in Northern Ireland, in Belfast. I did a run this morning at 6 a.m. and I have still not showered. So I am on here, and it really is the place where I just feel like I can totally be myself. And I'm so thankful for all of you that watch my videos, that consume and try and keep painting. So if you were a mood today, what would you be? Even if you're watching this in playback, what color would it be? And the nice thing is, I've actually asked this on my Instagram earlier. And the good thing is, because the majority of you that watch are painters, I don't need to say to you, oh, if you were a painting, but instead, you as a painter, how do you feel today? And what mood are you? And what color would that translate to? Let me know in the comments. If you're watching this in playback, also let me know that. And then too, I always reply. Maybe there'll come a day whenever I get so many comments that I have to get someone to help me reply. But certainly, I love being here. I love learning from you and getting to know you. So on the reason that I'm saying about mood and paintings, and I want to know about your color, is there is so much. You'll see in the last little short that I put up, I painted last night in my studio, and it was the most free and joyous I have felt in a while, because as I spoke to you last week, I've been in the depths of commissions. So I'm a professional artist of 16 years. I pay my mortgage, I run my business, I've raised 3 children around it, and it is the most exciting and frightening career to date. However, whether it's your career, whether you are here because you want to learn how to paint loose, I teach you how to paint loose in sorry, someone's messing back. I teach you how to paint loose using one brush, using 5 colors. And it's been a very exciting journey because I've been doing that for a long time. If you dig deep on my YouTube channel, you will see that. However, what I want for you is for your creativity to be at the forefront. And the reason that I give you short time frames for paintings, the reason that I ask you to limit your palette, you don't always need to limit your palette. But whenever you're making the foundations of loose painting, which seamless link, my new course is out, and please use the code AliFave at the checkout for 10% off. It's 2 hours and it's fab, and it's just me giving you the solid foundations for your loose painting. But by the by, the reason that I teach you how to reduce your colors and reduce your time and reduce your tools is because, and you don't always need to just use the 5 colors. As you can see here, I've used a variation of them. But I want you to bring yourself and your mood and how you're feeling to the canvas. You know as well that whenever you are in front of the canvas will tell the story. The canvas will be where the answers lie. And whenever we do all those things to reduce your time, we are relying on your creativity and the paint to be the vehicle. So that you're the magic, you're the driver, but your mood and how you present in front of the canvas, even if you're on your darkest days, even if you're at your most high, that doesn't necessarily correlate with exactly a color. This painting I made on the floor of my father, who passed away, on the floor of the barn that he built before he passed away. He passed away in 1991 as a 7-year-old. And now that there are more eyeballs around the world, thanks to YouTube, certainly, but I've art advisors in the States who are saying to me about how, whenever it comes to paintings like this, getting my artist statement right. So I'm very happy to say that with those artist advisors and me helping hone my artist statement, I did a degree in fine art and a master's in fine art. You don't have to have done that to be able to paint. But during those times, what I've learned, and I've said this before, I didn't learn how to sell a painting. I didn't learn how to build a creative business, but I learned how to really unearth what it is that is the very belly of the paintings that I make. So this was painted on the floor of my dad's barn. He built it just before he died. He built it in 1989 and 1990. He died in 91. I was 7 years old, and I say in my new artist statement that I basically retracted into my own little world. And I still live there for a lot of it. And that's what I want for my audience and certainly for my students that I teach. This is called Marshmallow Kisses. And for me, I retracted into a lovely world in my head of marshmallowy softness. And that is why my art very much grapples with the lightness of joy and living every day, and also the depths of grief. Yours might not be either of those. And yours might just be that you want to learn how to paint the sea out the side of your house, or you want to learn how to paint your granddaughter or your kids. But when I teach you and we learn from teaching what is in your belly, what is it that actually brings you in front of the canvas, what brought you to my YouTube channel. And whenever we reduce our tools for the 5 colors, one brush, shorter time, you don't need to use that framework all the time. But I guarantee what it does is it brings your mood, your emotion to the canvas. And with that, you get connection. Connection is all we want. And last night I was at my studio and I just had the most fun ever. And you'll see that in that last video I put up. And when I went down to the framers downstairs to steal his stapler, there was a portrait just ready to be framed. Obviously it's gorgeous, but it was so true to life and it was on this large scale. And look at me, I'm not like, this is the thing, I talk about judgment, the judgment of others. I'm clearly judging this painting, but I felt it was actually a bit soulless, and it made me even more passionate about making soul driven and teaching you how to bring your heart and your soul to the forefront, to the canvas, so you don't get caught up in your head. So you don't, like, can you imagine the pain of doing a perfect portrait? And it also felt a wee bit like, yeah, it was, but everyone's different. And this is the thing. But for me, it felt a bit dull. And even the back, and it was so neat. And I was looking at the teeth of this portrait. And that is, there is a time and a place for that. It's beautiful. Realism art is absolutely beautiful. But you're not here because that's what you want to learn. I want to teach you how to paint loose, how to paint fast, and how to bring your creativity, your soul, your mood, your emotion, your own connection, your own story to a canvas. So this is called Marshmallow Kisses. The one that I worked on last night, what did I think of for a name for it? So it's really large. You'll see it on my recent shorts. And all I wanted was the paint to tell the story. I tell that to you. So last night when I was painting, I was using oils, and the two series that I'm working on at the minute for an exhibition that I haven't got. I just can't get myself together. Hello, hello. Antika, I can't even say Antika. So nice to see you. I want I'm working with Biarritz, which is in France, and I'm working with Donegal. I don't live in either of those places, but as I was saying, I am emotionally attached, and storytelling, color palette is so important. The color that you see out your window, the color that you see whenever you're driving, even the colors that you see in your memories. You might be painting the vase of flowers that I'm teaching you how to paint. You might be using those techniques that I teach you with gesture drawing, but that might take you back to another time where someone bought you the flowers, or someone just, you enjoyed the play of gesture drawing. So I want for you to acknowledge your emotions, to think about how you're 18 from India. How amazing. I have a lot of followers from India on my TikTok and Instagram because I have people who I do a lot of cricket paintings. So whenever I do that, I get a lot of followers from all over the world. And for you, I want you to remember this before I go and get my coffee and get my breakfast. People don't remember perfection. People remember connection. I'm sure someone, you could quote that, but that's my thought for the day. Or someone, maybe I said it before, but we remember how things made us feel, even if it's the flowers that we're painting, even if it's the landscapes that I'm teaching you, the plein air painting skills that I want to teach you how to use. In the most recent demo, we use primary colors, we mix secondary colors. Then we have secondary colors that we use as the base of our whole painting. I want you to use those skills, but even when you're doing that, take the perfection out and let the connection come in. Have a wonderful Tuesday. I'm going to go. My son is here today because he's not quite back to school, but it is a joy teaching you. It is a joy telling you about my own art. This is a beautiful painting that I get to see every day just until it sells. I bring paintings home. But for you, remember, nobody remembers perfection. Instead, we remember connection. You can bring your mood, you can bring your joy, you can bring your own story. Mine's about grief. So, like, it's a sad story with a joyful outcome. So, I want to change the language of loss. Yours might be different. Yours might be everything that you have. An amazing day, you too. Thank you for being here. Just remember to lean into who you are. Use all the tools, one brush, 5 colors, short time frame, because that will bring your creativity in, which brings you to the forefront. And that's what we want. We want your personality in the canvas. Have a wonderful day. Thank you.